Jeff Koenig, Property Prep, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I want to show you our next project. Come on in and check out this commercial space we're working on. This is a bar that was abandoned a few years ago by the company that couldn't pay their bills. It was one of the few co-op bars in the country, which means it really had no owner. It was a group of people like a co-op you would see for a grocery store. The business model probably doesn't work, and this is the result and what they left us. So we were brought in by the property owner to give this place a makeover to get it ready to rent or sell. Let me take you a tour through what we've done so far and what's going to happen in this space going forward in this videos. The biggest problem that we have to address is the floor, and it's unknown yet what the depth of this floor is. We're going to take a little sample of the floor. It looks like it's gypcrete over wood, which is a gypsum product, cementatious gypsum product that's sort of self-leveling and is poured in. We are going to take a sample, see how deep it is, make sure the subfloor is sound below it, and then we're gonna chip this entire floor out and put it in a big dumpster and haul it away. Then we'll prepare the subfloor for a new commercial grade vinyl flooring. I think it'll end up being LVP, and it'll probably be a troweled down application. We'll see if we need a new subfloor or we can work what's existing. We do want to maintain the character of this building. It smelled sort of bad from years of smoking used to be legal in Milwaukee. I don't think it was painted since the smoking thing. So we picked a nice neutral color with the owner to make sure that the place was all painted one uniform color instead of the really rough colors that it was beforehand. We made sure that any sort of illegal wiring was removed, and the next step here is demolition. Let's walk through and look at the back of the bar and see what we had to demo back there. This bar has a capacity of 80 people when it was existing previously. There's a lot of stuff that's sort of rigged like this. This will come out, but we do want to maintain tile throughout the back bar for cleanliness. We did take out this big refrigerator unit that was here. We'll take out the ice maker, which is moldy and non-functioning. We'll keep all the sinks because those are expensive and in good shape. We're going to remove the tap lines, which are probably destroyed at this point. And then we'll go down here and look at these big coolers that need to be removed as well. Unfortunately, not only are they not efficient, they're just not working, I don't think. So these fridges have to go, and we have to make some patches to this wall portion right here behind where there were fridges because it looks like crap and we need it to be sanitary for when a health inspector comes through. Also, we'll steam clean this tile right here to get all of this nastiness off of the floor. Coming back through, this is a Brunswick style bar, which has some beautiful details to it, but over the years it's been really abused. The top of it has been painted, so we'll strip this back down to the quarter-sawn oak, which you'll see here on the ornamental part of the bar, and try to get all the adhesive off of the mirrors and restore this part of the bar to as perfect as it can. And then as we go down here, we have another refrigerator that gets removed, and this entire countertop space over here is not original. So we'll have to rip this out and figure something else out that's clean and that works for this space. Additionally, there'll be some wire management here on the thermostat, which is retrofitted for the ductless mini splits that are up on the wall. And we're going to have to troubleshoot all of these light fixtures that were custom made with bottles and make sure that it's just the bulb and not the entire fixture that needs to be replaced. Unfortunately, one is broken and I don't know how we're gonna find a replacement, but I guess we will cross that road when it happens. So replacing as many of these drawers and doors, this whole unit will have to be resanded, and then we'll have to order doors here for these shelves that were blocked to mimic the ones that are over there. This also is going to have a POS system put into it, like a modern kitchen, so we'll have to work on getting this set up properly for the electrical for that. There is electrical over there. It's just kind of ugly. The other thing that's going to have to happen is we're going to end up replacing this bar top that's an ugly laminate with something like quartz that would seem original to the space and really elevate this to a bar where you would want to drink. One of the concerns when we're talking about demolition here is the radiators. Since they're at this set height, we need to make sure that we're supporting them and that our finished floor is at a height where the radiator works, or else we're going to have to change the piping so that the radiator then sits on the new floor. And the other thing is we have a bunch of non-matching light fixtures here. We should probably go through and discuss changing those to something that works. I think the color is great. I think there'll be some touch-ups. We'll have to add new shoe after we put the new flooring in. We did add a glass block window here towards the neighbors. It was a piece of plexiglass before, and I think we're going to have to look at doing that for the rest of the windows as well, because it's not appealing to have these fake windows that are made of plexiglass. Really, they're not efficient. They're not efficient, and they're easy to break. So we should get something in here that's really high quality, and we'll talk to the ownership group about how much they want to invest on that. But I wanted to give you a before, what goes through my mind when we're talking with homeowners, and some of the great details that are in this bar that we'd like to preserve and then add on to as we go. The last few things I'll mention is we have a wonderful brass rail that needs to be repurposed onto the new floor. And this unit did have mini splits installed about 10 years by the prior ownership. So that provides air conditioning because we do have hydronic heat. There is a large air conditioner over the door, right over here. Weighs a few hundred pounds, and we're gonna have to figure out a way to get that down and patch that back in so that there's not an ugly eyesore above the door. This space doesn't have a tenant that's going into it right now. It's getting prepared for leasing and selling. So the question is, how much does someone want to spend, and how much is going to be expected for everyone to do versus what needs to be personalized? So our job at Property Prep is to come in, work with the ownership group, and to explain to them what the best return on investment is, and then discuss with them by line item what can be accomplished within their budget. So stay tuned. I think the next step is demolition. We'll show you that shortly.